All right, good afternoon. Hello, everyone. So this is a video that I promised to send out along with some positivity. There have been so many negative things happening in the world. This addresses a difficult issue, but let's make the intent and the result positivity. So hypergamy. Hypergamy. Maybe some people have heard of it, maybe some people haven't. Hypergamy is much talked about lately. That is the tendency of men will prefer a partner across or down social status hierarchies. Women will prefer a partner across or up. It's generally true, but it's one of those averages things that, it's different for people in different situations. And overall, as a species, you could say that because of the creation of children, men are attracted to the women who show the signs of being able to have and care for children. Therefore, hips, physical things, hair. I have a theory about hair. The aquatic ape theory. It's for babies grabbing, right? Because they stay on, so if they're in the water and everything, it's like little monkeys. But so hypergamy has been treated as of course women are that way. Of course it's going to be better for men. All social drives carry a beneficial aspect and a pathological aspect. Something that's been happening with hypergamy lately is that if there is a situation where there is a constant threat perceived, a constant threat to social well-being, a constant threat to being able to survive at the level to which you are accustomed, that old phrase, whether it amounts to survival or not, that will be a pressure for women to look for different men. So this can be seen, it's often seen as shape up, men. Sure, we like to think we're all up to that. We like to think we all try to do that, but then there's a situation where if women are feeling that pressure enough, not only will this create the kind of very sad, frustrating serial monogamy that both men and women dislike, but it creates a situation where the women are incredibly competitive with each other, because you'll have a situation where there is a very small sometimes amount of men who fit the criteria that the women are truly after. And so the women have a tough time with that. And so you'll have this is expressed, there are several conversations online. Maybe I'm all over the place on this, but I'm trying to remember from several conversations online. I didn't have a time to write this all out. But there's a phenomenon that very many people are familiar with, where guy walks into a bar by himself, or in restaurant, anything, concert, by himself. Women will pay a certain amount of attention to him that they pay attention to him. You put a woman next to him that show, especially a high status woman, a woman which the other women would aspire to. Now, if it's a woman, and this is socially very complex because you can have it depends on the group of women. You could have a woman who is well esteemed by a certain type of subculture. Talk about music, like a rockabilly woman. Rockabilly woman walks into some type of, let's just pretend that it's about rockabilly and punk, right? So rockabilly woman walks into a punk show. This is not totally accurate, but I think you get the picture. Rockabilly woman walks into a punk show, and the punk women immediately despise her, and they don't like the guy either. Or maybe they like the guy. But if the women like the woman, there's a different thing. If they dislike the woman, there's a different thing. I'm not being very coherent with all of this, but the women will approve more highly of a man when a woman that they would imagine that they can trust. A good sociological reference for this is to be called an allo mother, A-L-L-O-M-O-T-H-E-R, a type of woman that another, and what that means sociologically is a woman that another woman would trust to be a babysitter. If a woman meets, and maybe not specifically that, but something analogous to that, if a woman feels like she can be, like she would want to be, like she would aspire to be trusted friends with this woman, then that's important. Now, throw a man into the mix that woman is with. This is activating humans have been in polygamous situations, I think, for a very long time. It doesn't mean it's good. I think it was a really wonderful cultural evolution around Ayaan Hirsi Ali has spoken to this, around the time of the Mediterranean civilizations. It was the Greco-Roman civilizations that brought about monogamy, the highly legalistic Romans, and whatever it was that the Greeks thought it was a good idea to have only one wife at a time. So you have Christianity amplified that and spread it around, and colonialism amplified that and spread it around. But those were the main areas that monogamy came from. Now, we could say that monogamy is colonialist. In a sense, it is. In some places it is. Some places it isn't. The type of society with a rule of law, the type of society where you don't have disinherited children, the types of society where you don't have brothers and cousins murdering each other in family feuds. This is a recent innovation, and it has to do with monogamy, where you don't have large groups of unmarried men who then spend their time and their free money with large groups of women who do nothing but cater to the desires of those men. That's another thing that's been going on for a long time that was part of not monogamy, because what happens when you have polygamy is that the women gather around the high status man that they know to be safe, that they know to be approved of, and then they bond. As long as they bond with each other, this ties into very deep, I would say not borderline animal, actual animal human instincts. You can look at chimpanzees. It's the ways they do things. We're not chimpanzees. We can be different.